All right, Tellico Ledges PFD. First run on the ledges. Couldn't be more stoked.
So we're gonna let you follow Josh.
Okay.
Since you guys are in like similar sized boats, I'm probably definitely flexible as we go on the slope.
Right.
So this one we're gonna start kind of going to the right, and then we're gonna kind of boogie back to the middle, drop through just some little ledgy stuff.
Okay.
And then go over to the right, and there's just a big ledge. And like somewhere in the center we'll hit it, and there's just different lines, but yeah, you'll kind of come over the top, go down, and then boom.
Okay.
So it'll look like the horizon line is up high, but you got to get over it.
So you got to delay that boof until you get
all these boofs will be delayed.
Okay. Oh, hello. All right. So this is upper ledge?
Yeah, this is it. So
Okay.
this one they're running right now is kind of the entrance, and then you can see the main ledge a little farther down.
Gotcha. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, there's a little rise there.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna do that.
Different little features and stuff, but we'll hit the one that's like just kind of on the right of where the center of the flow is going.
Okay. Oh, that shit is sick. Such a clean drop. Oh, dude, that's awesome.
coming up to the second ledge. We'll keep this steady here behind this rock.
All right.
Tellico's pretty sick. Tellico's tits.
Oh, we got a little bit there.
Okay.
My Play-Doh's here.
Alright, so this one is kind of dirty. There's a couple different lines. The traditional line, which we'll run, is there's this island here in the middle.
Yep.
And then just to the left of the island, there's like this little, almost kind of a triangle rock. It's like just barely sticking out.
Yep.
So we're gonna run kind of in between those two.
Okay.
Kind of boofing off the little triangle rock.
Okay.
You'll boof, but then you kind of like land on like a bouncy slide.
Okay.
All right.
That's why they call that one dirty, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in there. Okay.
When it's like 3 feet, you can get that and it's money.
Okay.
Yeah, like right kind of there.
Okay.
And there'll be a rock like on your right hand.
Right. Guess I would pay attention to what's downstream and me set upstream.
Left that drain right there.
Right.
But the holes definitely get shot.
Yeah.
The same goes for almost every year below. The holes are going to get shot.
That's true.
Yeah, you guys can go for it. Yeah, so this is the third ledge. It's like it's a delayed auto boof. So you come over the ledge, go down a slide, and then off an auto boof.
All right, so you want to plant your boof stroke on the bottom of that little curly
like
rock.
wait until you roll over the lip and you see where the water's breaking off of the slide.
Yep.
And reach past that, and when you're hitting these boofs, remember you want to go forward on it, not back. So some of them I'm seeing you're like trying to get a lot of power into it.
Yeah.
You know, and people like want to thrust their hips forward.
Right.
But that puts you back, which pitches your bow down. So as you come in with your boof stroke, you want to come forward. Into the elbows up, low brace position.
You got it.
And then once you get that, then you can work on your stomp.
Okay.
So
that makes sense.
Straight vertical paddle, coming forward like that.
Got it.
Follow me in.
All right. Yeah, that train changed the trajectory completely. I say a lot flatter. Yeah, it almost felt like I came down bow first on that.
What's up?
I said it almost felt like I came down bow first. That's certainly as flat as I've ever landed.
Yeah, you just kind of turn like a little sideways.
Okay. Yeah, I got to get that more vertical.
Yeah, you did better sitting forward, but you were like straight up and down.
Yeah.
Sometimes can result in like a hit to the spine.
Okay.
So you want to be forward so that you can like absorb that a little bit.
That makes sense. Okay.
So we'll run this. It's kind of like center moving left, just kind of down the slide.
Okay.
And then we'll go into the eddy on the right, and we'll get out and look at baby.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna scout baby. So if you guys want to do another lap or something.
Damn, this is badass.
Yeah.
This is really, man. Yeah, I've already done 2 of the, well, actually the 2 best drops I've ever done. I've already done.
Yeah,
The big one's still to come.
This is like where you learn to move, you know? It's like about as good as Class 3+ gets.
Right. Oops.
All right. So yeah, slide kind of center, move it left a little bit.
Okay.
And eddy on the right.
Got it. I don't think I had enough left.
Yeah, you kind of get that block off of that rock.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, so we'll come in just kind of on the tongue here. And watching out for getting spun out to the left.
Okay.
Sometimes happens, so you'll hit this tongue, you know, with a lot of speed and just be ready to kind of keep her straight.
Yep.
And then you see the curler coming off the lip on the left. You want to be like booking it hard for that curler. Kind of lean into it a little bit. And it's a really, really late stroke. Kind of the classic thing everybody does is they take that stroke at the top, and then they end up leaning back and they plug.
Right.
So just like hold that stroke, weight on it until you get to where the water actually falls off from the rock.
Okay.
You can see the landing, and then take that stroke, nose to toes, nose to knees, elbows up.
So you're wanting to actually get the falling water, you're ignoring the rock lip altogether.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're looking at, you can see where the water separates from the rock.
Yep.
Like you see that line of rock underwater, like halfway down.
Yep.
You want to have really you want to have like your thighs to your hips on that by the time you pull that stroke.
Okay.
And it's always, you always want to pull it before you need to. You know, your brain's always like moving fast. Right?
Yeah.
Take the stroke, take the stroke. You gotta like fight it, slow down, wait, and then do it.
Okay, so I'm ready when you
All
are.
right.
Take it forward. Yeah.
Holding the lead in, you know, start that curler, wait, and then a sharp, crisp boot.
Got it.
Ready?
Yep.
All right, let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah! Woo! Fuck yeah!
They always swim and they're like, oh, I thought I was in the hole.
No, there's
like,
not really a
you're
hole.
in the boil moving out.
Right.
But if you do swim like in the hole, it will like, it can't like body research you. Like usually just once, it'll take you real deep to spit you out.
Yeah.
But then you gotta swim like hell for this eddy.
Right.
All right, this is Tellico River. There's a few different lines on it. We'll kind of go off the middle, just kind of down a slide, and there's kind of some little rocks sticking out. Just kind of go down the slide.
Yeah.
ready?
Yep. That was not elegant. Yeah.
Trying to stay away from like the scraping.
Yeah. Dude, that's fucking gorgeous. Yeah, it's funny. I never heard that about leaning back drops your bow, but it makes sense. You're putting your weight where it's gonna rotate you downwards.
Well, leaning back like that and taking a stroke works when it's like an auto boost.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's one of those things, like when I started kayaking 15 years ago, that's how they were teaching people how to boost.
Oh, really?
Is you take a stroke and you crush your hips forward.
Yeah. Because that seems more intuitive.
Yeah, it does.
But then when you think about the physics of it, it doesn't actually make sense.
Like back in the day, people were doing all these like hard reef runs, but they weren't really doing them in high water.
Right.
You know? And when you're boofing more water, it's like you're technically a little more smart.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you're stern squirt and you're vertical on your tail. It seems counterintuitive.
Yeah, same thing.
That you crunch.
Your hinge, you know, you're opening and closing the hinge.
Yeah.
So when you close that hinge, it brings the bow up.
Yeah.
And then when you open it up, it drops it down.
And it seems, intuitively, it seems like it'd be the opposite. But yeah, it's completely different. Everything about this
Just like
sport's...
a stern squirt.
Yeah. Everything about this sport's counterintuitive. That's why I like it. Yeah, you can actually practice that boofing technique off of any little wave. So really, it seems to me, all you're trying to do is really just lever your bow up.
Yeah. Yep. And it's less about taking a big stroke and more about making it really precisely timed and like a pop, you know, just like a hip snap. You know, it's not just like long, mushy movement. It's like a pop.
Yeah, because you're exactly right what you said. I've been trying to drive my hips forward.
Yeah.
And then
it drops your bow down.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. That's a hell of a tip.
The only thing I would say too is like really try to avoid landing stacked up like this.
Yeah.
It's how people hurt their ribs and their spine and stuff. Like, it's crazy. You can land stacked up off of like a 12-footer and like tweak something, or you can like land really well, like boofing like a 40-footer and feel totally fine.
Yeah, I felt it on was a middle ledge.
Yeah,
landed fairly
I saw
flat.
that. You kind of like when you land, it's like nowhere for your body to absorb.
Yeah, it just all goes straight down through your
forward.
spine.
You can like absorb it in like a pretty natural motion.
Yeah, that totally makes sense.
And then the other kind of back saver move is the stomp. It's like once you feel like you're really getting the bow up and ending forward, you can give just a little lean back. And what that'll do is it'll move you out away from the hole, and then it drops your bow down so that you skip out from the hole.
So you don't hit that flat.
Yeah, so you don't hit flat. When you hit flat, you know, especially like if it's a high volume kind of drop, you'll hit flat and lose all your speed and then back enter into the hole.
Yeah.
So the stomp helps you, like the boil will be kind of like up high, and it's almost like dropping in on a vert ramp.
Right.
You know, and like you skip forward and it transfers all your speed out instead of taking it. All right, so this is Jared's knee.
Okay.
We're gonna come down here. There's like, kind of if you sit where I'm at, you see this big log coming across on the bank.
Yep.
And then kind of just down through the middle of it, there's like a pyramid rock that's sticking out of the water.
Yeah, I see it.
We're gonna go to the right of that.
Okay.
We're gonna hook back around to the left. There's like a sloping ledge like this coming down from the right. We're gonna take a late water boof with a lefty.
Okay.
Boof, and then catch the eddy on the right.
On the right. Got it.
All right, ready?
Yep. Bad. I got a little offline up there, but
Alright, next mark we're gonna come kind of parallel to this big flat angle rock.
yeah.
We're gonna do two like kind of dragon tooth roots. The one on the right you can hit.
Okay.
The one on the left you can hit, but it's like needs a little more water.
Okay.
Or you can kind of go between them or to the right of them.
Okay.
And big eddy on the right.
Yeah.
You can hit that, you'll go right, and then back to the left, and then down the middle.
Okay. Missed it. Oh shit. God damn it. I guess I could have fucked that up worse. I was in the eddy and I just stopped paddling and came off that ledge.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of water from Tellico River right now.
My bad, I was totally not paying attention.
You're good. That's a little eddy.
I thought I was in it and just stopped working to stay in it.
Yeah.
So if we had run it, we would have come down here. And then what's the line?
I like over here.
Far left?
Yeah. Like kind of moving back this way.
All right, coming up on that rock just a little bit?
Yeah, staying in the flow a little bit today. When it's a little higher, you can get kind of more of the rock.
Okay.
Alright, so yeah, we'll see where they're going.
Yeah.
It's the right to left. Then back towards kind of center left.
Okay.
This move through here is kind of just like chaotic. Some water.
Okay.
Margin left, we'll max that over there.
Got it.
And the final boop of this thing, you'll see on the left it looks like kind of a junky seam you want to stay out of.
Yeah.
And then it's just a big turtle. And we want to kind of move the left side of the turtle.
Left side, okay.
And there's a little bit of a sieve if you were on the right side of the turtle.
Okay.
So you just don't want to go off on the right, you go off center or the left side of it.
Got it. Okay, maybe I am glad it wasn't in my half slice.
Yeah, I got plenty of that.
That's about as good at 2 miles as I've ever had.
Yeah.